Let's tackle this absolute mountain of book mail. We're gonna go in completely random order. A lot of these were sent to me from publishers. Some of them are ARC, some of them are finished copies, but also we have quite a few book subscriptions and special editions that I purchased as well. The first book is called The Phone Swap. This is a romance arc that comes out all the way in August. It doesn't come out until August 25th, which is kind of crazy that I have this early. It sounds like a really fun premise though. This one's about an accidental phone swap that has a celebrity heartthrob falling in love with just like a normal person. They don't think the world is watching, but it seems like they are still gonna have eyes on them somehow. I love a good celebrity romance, and Leah Lewis is definitely a favorite author of mine, so I'm really excited for this. Next, we have a thriller book called Murder Your Darlings. This one says it's for every woman who's ever fallen for a bad man comes a hilarious and eviscerating tale of love, loss, and deadlines. I don't know this author, but she's a New York Times bestselling author, but it seems like she writes historical fiction most of the time. So I think this is her kind of branching out of her normal genre, which is really fun. This is so random, but I got a Survivor book. This is an arc. It comes out on the 5th of May. I'm the biggest Survivor nerd. Like, it is my dream to one day get cast on the show. But this one's called The Tribe and I Have Spoken, and it looks like it is by the host of a podcast called Rob Has a Podcast. And Rob is a 2-time Survivor player. I don't think he ever won, but I'm really excited for this. It's such a like weirdly shaped book too. I'm really not sure what I'm in for here, but it seems like it'll be fun. Next is an arc of a young adult book called If We Never End. It's supposed to be a combo of like You've Reached Sam and If I Stay, which are both really popular young adult novels. It says, if we outwit time, if we outplay fate, if we never end. Paper Cut is a new memoir. I think this one's already out, but this one is about like a cult. It says the cult shaped her, the story saved her, the truth bleeds through. Wait, I think I'm wrong. I think this is like a memoir inside of a thriller. I think this is a thriller book. The main character is like a true crime icon who I think is writing a memoir because like everybody knows her story, but they don't know like what actually happened to her. I'm very intrigued. A book inside of a book, if I'm right about that, sounds like a fun ride. This next one I purchased and I'm so excited for. This is the Waterstone signed exclusive of Atmosphere, my favorite book from 2025. I've been on the hunt for this book and I finally found this copy. Someone listed this for $30 on Pango, and these have been selling for like $100+. So I scooped it up immediately and I'm so excited to have this on my shelf. If you haven't read this, you absolutely must. This is a historical fiction, sapphic romance set in the 80s with women in STEM. It's some of the first female astronauts in NASA. Not only do you get to explore and navigate like what it was like at that time to be a woman kind of in a career that was very male dominated, but you get present and past timelines between like I think 1984 or 5 and like 1980. And in the present timeline, there's something catastrophic happening. You start the book with a very high stakes scenario and then you're sent back to kind of learn the characters and get to know them, and you flip-flop back and forth, and it is adrenaline producing, but also one of the most heartwarming and gut-wrenching stories. I felt every emotion while reading this and loved it so much. I've read it 3 times already. We Who Will Die is a new Romantasy book, and it came out with this deluxe edition, and it is gorgeous. I have a map as the end papers. So this is the first in what's going to be a series set in ancient Rome, but this world is ruled over by merciless vampires. Next up is a new thriller called All Eyes on Him. This book follows Natalie, who watched her best friend leave a club with a very handsome stranger. She was happy for her until her friend was found unconscious at a bus stop the next day with no answers. She's in a coma, so she can't like tell what happened. So Natalie is trying to get to the bottom of what happened to her. She's desperate for answers, and she ends up coming across that same man, a photo of him on the cover of a magazine being declared as Man of the Year. So the question is, he might be the Man of the Year, but is he actually a monster? What did he do to her friend? This one also has cool sprayed edges. It says make sure you follow the rules on the side. Next is a book called At the End of Everything, and this is by a huge author. I've heard of most of these books. I did not know they were releasing a new book, but I believe this one just came out. This one's a young adult book, and it follows this group of teenagers who's essentially been left at a juvenile treatment center to die. They've been exiled there. Nobody knows they're there. The guards stop showing up, and they have to try to figure out how to get out of it alive. Super excited for this book, but I do already have my copy. This is actually a copy I'm going to be taking over today to a little free library near me. This is Emily Austin's new book, Is This a Cry for Help? It comes out on the 13th of January. Onyx is just terrorizing a squirrel out there, or it's terrorizing him. I'm not sure which. But it's just jumping back and forth between our trees, and Onyx is chasing it and barking and causing mayhem. But anyways, this one's supposed to be a hilarious and heartbreaking novel about a good marriage, bad mistakes, and the enduring power of your local library, which I'm so excited for. I'm mad at myself for not reading this yet, but I've just been way too busy. I'm really hoping in this new year that my life is gonna slow down a little bit. It's tricky because the end of the year and the start of the year is one of the busiest for like content creation, because there's so many videos like end of year wrap-ups and 2026 goals and favorite books of the year and all sorts of things that I have so much work to do right now, and I'm also starting a new project that I'm really excited for that's taking up a lot of time. but see like the light at the end of the tunnel. I feel like in a few weeks, maybe in a month, I'm gonna have time to just like enjoy life a little bit more. And so hopefully I'll have time to sit down and read some of these books that I thought I would have gotten to by now. I just haven't been able to get the chance. I'm really excited for these next two. I'm a huge fan of Rebecca Jenchak's writing, and these are two of her new sports romance. We have Playing with Forever and Stealing for Keeps. This one is book 1. This is YA, so it is a high school sports romance. It's called Frost Lake High, and this one follows the new soccer star, the team captain's ex-girlfriend, and a dare that changes everything. This one says torturing the captain of Frost Lake High's soccer team isn't on her bucket list, and neither is falling for him. These actually look so adorable. I was a figure skater, so this one especially is just calling to me because she's got some figure skates here. But like the covers of these are fantastic. I cannot wait to read them. The next romance book we have is Almost One Night Stand. This is another cover that's just gorgeous. I feel like so many of the 2026 books, or maybe this came out in 2025, but anyways, some of the recent romance books have just been like speaking to me. Like the whole book is just absolutely stunning. This one's like a big city to small town forced proximity romance. Hattie's giving up her busy life in Chicago for a teaching gig in a very small summer town in Illinois. She didn't know this, but her apartment that she's renting was double rented, and she has to share the apartment with this other tenant who she had like a meet cute with previously, and I'm sold. This looks so cute. This next one's from FairyLoot. It's called Dawn of the Firebird, and this book is absolutely gorgeous. It has stenciled edges that wrap all the way around. I think this was the adult book, but I could be mistaken. I get the young adult combo box, so I get both books but none of the like goodies that come in some of the FairyLoot subscriptions, and it's my favorite subscription option of theirs. I almost joined for the Romantasy book, but I just couldn't justify the extra cost. They do allow 4 skips per year, which I like. I wish it was a little bit more. And in the US, this box is about $60 including shipping, so it's like 30 bucks a book. Not great, but I justify this because if you go into Barnes & Noble and buy the hardcover when it first comes out anyways, you're spending the same amount. So it's basically the same amount as buying the plain hardcover, and they're gorgeous. The young adult book this month is what I'm most excited for. This is a Chloe Gong book. It's called Cold Wire. I've read one of her books, Immortal Longing, I think is what it was called. Absolutely loved it. It was like if Hunger Games was fantasy, which I guess it sort of is. Just more dystopian than fantasy, but it was kind of like a play on that type of book, and I really enjoyed it. So I'm excited for this, and some of my friends have already arc read this and absolutely adored it, so I have high hopes. This one just has stencil edges on the side, and then it has a plain blue on the top and bottom. It says the future is loading on the back. Here are the end papers in the front and in the back. The bare hardback is sometimes like my favorite thing. It's just absolutely gorgeous. And then here's the reversible dust jacket. A lot of the time the other side is just like the plain cover that you'd get in like Barnes & Noble. So that's an option if you don't want like this cover, but I usually like the FairyLoot cover better anyways. Next is an arc called The Midnight Taxi. This one comes out in February. This one's like a murder mystery, but the taxi driver is kind of solving the murder. One of her passengers ends up murdered, so this taxi driver is working around the clock to clear her name in this mystery. It sounds like a fun time and kind of a unique premise. I haven't read anything like this. Then we have The Great Outdoors by Kayla Olson. I love this author. I've read 1 or 2 books by her already and absolutely adore them. So I have very high hopes for this one. It comes out in June. This follows a woman who's always been known for being like too prepared. She has a plan for everything. She thinks this is a good thing until her boyfriend breaks up with her for being too high maintenance. Now Sadie's eager to prove him wrong. She wants to show that she is spontaneous. So she signs herself up for a few weeks long guided wilderness adventure, including camping, hiking, rappelling, kayaking, which is like her idea of hell. She ends up falling for the tour guide. I feel like this is going to be the cutest romance. Then we have a finished copy of Jealous Rage. This one also has really gorgeous edges. I'm kind of nervous for this one. It is like a college romance, and why I'm nervous is because it has a professor-student aspect, but the student is like 25 years old, and so I don't know if it's a big age gap. Hopefully not. It's usually not my vibe, but we'll see. I'll go in with an open mind. This one is really long though. It's like 500 pages, which seems kind of crazy. Then we have Park Avenue. This one is a contemporary fiction about this woman who's working her way to the top in her law firm. She's the daughter of Korean bodega owners, and she's always promised herself that she is going to be really successful in her career and in her life. It seems like that is fully within reach until they have this new client that she is kind of getting the chance to work with, even though they're like a very high level client. The family's worth billions of dollars, and it seems like that family's kind of crumbling. It says the patriarch is filing for divorce while his wife is dying and their children can't stop bickering. The family's hiding dark secrets. She's trying to like get to the bottom of everything and also not fumble this huge case she's been given. I just realized they sent a signed copy, which is so kind. I absolutely love that. Next up, we have this whole situation. I think this book is going to look like this. It's called The Survivor, but my copy has a bunch of like duct tape on it. I'm not sure what I'm fully in for, but there's a bunch of like maps here. Like it's a New York City subway map. I'm assuming I'm gonna be like solving some things as I go. I'm not positive, but I am really excited for this. It comes out in March. It says, do not turn off your phone, do not get off the train. I know who you really are. That's scary. This is gonna be like a hijacked train situation in New York City. I'm terrified, but I feel like it's gonna be a really fun ride. This book was funny because I accepted like a request for this book and then was scrolling TikTok and was watching these two dogs and thought they were so fun, and ended up going to their profile and saw that these were the dogs from the book that I had just said yes to. It's called The Dog's Table, and these two doggies are influencers who their parents make them the most elaborate and gourmet looking meals, but they're all dog friendly with dog friendly ingredients. And I just had so much fun watching them. So this is a recipe book. Oh my goodness. I didn't even notice this. That's so cute. Okay, so this is a signed copy with the two dogs' paw prints. That's actually adorable. They sent a few extra recipe cards too. And then this whole book is filled with, I think, different levels. Like some of them are easier than others, but dog-friendly recipes that you can make that are more exciting than just kibble. Obviously, they're not trying to replace like every single day, but give your dog something exciting that's nutritious for them. It says, treat your furry best friends to the joy of real food with bark-worthy recipes to improve their health and keep that tail wagging every day of their joyful life. Stop. That's actually so sweet. I love that. This next one is called One Moment, and this is a book of poetry that comes out on the 12th of May. They're sweet, surreal, and haunting. These poems examine both the frictions and seclusiveness that can occur between self and others. They're poems that delight in all the senses and in the movement of the world around us. I love a good book of poetry. This one looks like it's going to be a super breezy read, so I'm excited for this. Next is an arc called The Red Winter. This looks like a really fun fantasy book, and it comes out in February. It's a devastating love story, a bewitching twist on history, a blood-drenched hunt for purpose, power, and redemption. Ooh, this looks fun. So it is a historical fantasy. It's set in 1785. It follows Professor Sebastian Grave as he receives the news he fears most. The terrible beast of Gavaudan has returned, and the French countryside runs red in its wake. So Sebastian knows the beast, a monster slayer with centuries of experience. He joined the hunt for the creature 20 years ago and watched it slaughter its way through a long and bloody winter. Even with the help of his indwelling demon, Sarmodel, who takes payment in living hearts, it nearly costs him his life to bring the monster down. Sounds intriguing, sounds dark, I'm in. Next up we have Winner Takes All, which is an arc that comes out on the 23rd of June. This one's about two rival music executives. They wake up married in Las Vegas. They have no memory of getting married, so they're having to like recreate the night to try to figure out what happened, but they're also competing to sign the band of their dreams. So it's kind of like an enemies to lovers, but like they don't even remember getting married. It sounds really fun. Then we have a book called City of Others. I think this book already came out. It says that in the sunny city of Singapore, the government takes care of everything, even the weird stuff. Interesting. So there's like supernatural inhabitants of Singapore, and so this like secret group has to kind of like keep them happy and keep them out of sight so that nobody else knows about them. That is an interesting premise, and this is a very fun and chaotic cover. Next up is a little reading journal. This is a Romantasy reading journal. It has really pretty sprayed edges, and I like this because I'm not the biggest journaler, so I liked how brief the entries are for this. You're really putting the name of the author, a couple of favorite things, a very brief thoughts on it, and your rating, which is just up my alley. Some journals have like 2 or 3 pages for one book, and I just like can't be bothered to write that much of a review in a journal. I will do that like on Goodreads, but not so much in a journal. Then we have another couple of sports romance books. We have A Wildcard Kiss by Lauren Blakely and Most Valuable Player by her. I'm not sure which book goes first, but this one's gonna be like a best friend's sister. It's a football romance, and basically the best friend's sister like bids on him in a charity auction, ends up getting the winning bid. He like kisses her and declares that she's his girlfriend. It was supposed to be just like a one kiss, like little stunt and nothing else, but they actually like caught feelings. Oh, okay, this sounds crazy. The first sentence is, what's a woman to do when she catches her groom kissing another woman? Even worse, her mother on their wedding day. What the hell? That's wild. That's all I need to know. That's gonna be crazy. Filled with tea. I'm excited. This book looks really fun. It's called West of Wicked, and this is like a dark, twisty reimagining of The Wizard of Oz. It comes out in April, and it's gonna have really gorgeous sprayed edges. It also is gonna end up having like more books in the series that are all gonna match together, so I definitely think I need to have the whole set like this. Next up, we have a book called Last Night in Brooklyn. This one's supposed to be a captivating story about a young woman whose life becomes ensnared in her glamorous neighbor's secret past, laying bare the mounting tensions at play in rapidly gentrifying Fort Greene, Brooklyn in the 2000s. This one comes out in April, and I'm trying to remember if I recognize this author's name or not. It's kind of ringing a bell, but I'm not positive. Then we have Dark Rooms, which looks like a really creepy, like foresty thriller. In this book, there's something called the Hanging Woods, which is known for its lore. Decades of children have gone into the forest and had a lot of fear after coming back out. And in 1999, during the summer solstice, this 9-year-old girl named Roisin marched into the Hanging Woods and she was never seen again. After decades of the stories coming back to the surface, this is going to be such a creepy read and I'm here for it. This one I purchased from Pango, but it's called None Left to Tell by Noelle Eiley. I've been collecting all of her books, especially all of her like indie backlisted books, because they're starting to get picked up by Kensington and I want the original covers for my collection. I don't want to know much, I'll just read this mini blurb. It says 3 women connected by one of the most brutal mass slayings in US history. Next we have To Bleed a Crystal Bloom, which is the same author as When the Moon Hatched, and this book is stunning. I think this just recently got picked up by Avon. I think this is indie published previously. This one's a dark reimagining of Rapunzel. I'm so excited. It says it's full of immersive imagery and breathtaking angst, a unique fantasy series perfect for fans of SJM and Jennifer L. Armentrout. I'm sold. I absolutely can't wait. This is very long though, it's like 500 pages, but I feel like I'll fly through them. The pages are actually kind of short. This next one's called Quiet, and it is a nonfiction book about the power of introverts in a world that can't stop talking. And as an introverted girly, I felt like this sounded perfect. It says it's the book that started the quiet movement. This book is massive. I've heard so much about this book. I was vegan for like 8 years and then I've been vegetarian since for the last 2 years. This one's called How Not to Die, and I bring up that I was vegan because this is a book kind of rooted in the science behind food and how it can prevent you from, I don't want to say aging because obviously you're going to age, but basically can extend your life. I know a lot of this is rooted in like plant-based diets. It's a book that was quoted a lot when I was looking into like veganism way back when. And so this is a revised and updated version with like the latest nutritional science, because this book came out over a decade ago and it's sold over 1 million copies. So I feel like it's going to be a good one. Next up, I got a Lisa Jewell book that's one of her backlisted titles. It's called Ralph's Party. It says, welcome to 31 Almanac Road, where the walls don't talk, but the people sure do. Seems like an apartment building that's packed with a lot of secrets. I love Lisa Jewell's books, and this is one I haven't read yet. Next up is The Briars by Sarah Crouch. This is another new thriller book. It's supposed to be a very atmospheric novel of suspense following a young woman whose job as a game warden puts her in the path of a murderer in a small town eager to protect its own. I love a good small town thriller, so this looks really fun, and the cover definitely gives small town isolated vibes. Hey, honey. Next up is Oxford Blood, which is like an academic young adult book. It says, believe you deserve to be here and that confidence will shine through. Everyone that makes it to interview week is intelligent enough to study here. The difference between who wins a place and who doesn't is who wants it more and who truly believes in themselves. It's slay or be slayed. It sounds like a very deadly school. I'm excited though. It's supposed to be a combo of like A Good Girl's Guide to Murder and The Ace of Spades. It's a YA thriller where a girl has to navigate a very cutthroat world of academia. Next is Lonesome Dove. This is a very popular book. It won the Pulitzer Prize, so I feel like I have to read it. It is like 800 pages though, which I did not know when I requested this. But it's supposed to be a love story. It's a Western novel. It seems a bit out of my comfort zone, but I don't know. I'm trying to read a little bit more of my comfort zone this year. This is the 40th anniversary edition, so this is definitely an older book. Next up is a Kristen Callahan novel. It's called Only on Game Day. It's a fake engagement football romance. The guy's a top NFL draft pick and the girl is kind of a childhood friend. Their mothers were always best friends. They decide on a temporary public engagement because she needs help paying her like estate taxes and he needs help with his image, so like it's a win-win. They can both help each other out. Then we have Last Twilight in Paris, which is a new historical fiction book, and I love the edges of this. It has like an Eiffel Tower. This one's like a World War II book. It's set in London, 1953, where this woman is kind of adjusting to her life post-war. She is a housewife and she ends up discovering a necklace in a box at a secondhand shop. It's marked with the name of a store in Paris, and she's certain she saw this necklace before when she worked at the Red Cross in a Nazi-occupied Europe. So she's following this trail of clues through Paris to try to uncover like the origins. Next we have a thriller called The Drop, and this is so unique to me because this is like a amusement park roller coaster thriller, which I think I've read one actually. And come to think of it, it was not very good. So I hope this one's better. It says, only the bravest dare to ride the highest roller coaster in the world. Ooh, you're a thrill seeker who loves an adrenaline rush. You're offered the chance to ride a roller coaster, the highest one in the world, a once in a lifetime opportunity, after hours, no lines, no restrictions, but then the roller coaster stops, 650 feet above the ground, right before the big drop. You realize no one is around, no one can hear you scream, you're stranded, there's no help coming, how will you escape? I'm so excited, that sounds so tense. Next we have The May House. I'm obsessed with this cover. It's actually gorgeous. I could stare at this all day. This one's a contemporary fiction about 3 adult sisters who inherit a beach house from their grandmother, but it's based on the one condition they have to spend 1 week together every May, which leads them to uncovering family secrets, unrequited love, and ultimately a deeper understanding of one another. I'm excited. That sounds like a really beautiful premise. Also, Onyx is just like fully leaning on my lap. He's got all that space in the world, but he's a clingy fella, so we're right here instead. We're down to our last couple of books. We have a new Lisa Jewell book, which I'm so excited to have. This is an arc of It Could Have Been Her, which is her new 2026 release. It comes out in June. It says a lost dog, a missing woman, a family hiding dark secrets, and the gut-wrenching realization it could have been her. I don't want to know anything else going into Lisa Jewell's books. They're crazy. This one's pretty long. It's over 400 pages, but I absolutely can't wait to read this. I have a box set from Eternal Embers. This is a couple of Maren Moore books. This subscription isn't my favorite, and I do plan to cancel in 2026 because it's just a little too pricey. You get 2 books, but it's about $80, and you can only skip 4 times a year. And I was keeping this subscription because some of their like pre-sales I wanted the early access to, but lately they've been doing enough printing that like the general public can get access to them too. So I just don't think it's worth it for me, but I do like Maren Moore, so I did get this box. This one has Home Run Proposal and The Bad Boy Rule. It has like the sports numbers on the back. The edges of these are really pretty. They do go all the way around. And I do like that their books always come with like a slipcase. So it has figure skates and hockey stuff on that side and then baseball on the other. They are signed, which is cool. So here's the signature. Here are the end papers for this one and the bare hardback. Like they're stunning books, I'm not gonna lie. Here's the end papers of this one. I just don't think I can justify keeping this for another whole year. The last year I said I was gonna cancel it at some point and didn't. So this year I'm sticking to it. All right, the next box is from Book of the Month. I did a partnership with them this month, so I did get these books for free, which was really nice. I chose 2 books with them, so I got Rings of Fate, which is a deluxe one. When they have these, they're an extra like $2 or $3 to get the sprayed edges, but I find it worth it. This one's called Rings of Fate, and it's about a barmaid who doesn't believe in fairy tales and a prince who is cursed to live one. I also got Anatomy of an Alibi, which is a new thriller book that I thought sounded like a blast. It follows these 2 women who both have like suspicions about this man. It's one of their husbands and the other one, I don't know the situation, but she thinks that he did something. And so they come up with a plan to basically spy on him and try to figure it out. But he's found dead, and now they have to try to cover their tracks because they were plotting all of these plans around him, and they want to make sure that they have alibis and are in the clear. I also got a hat from them because they're doing a promotion for like New Year's. I also got this huge PR box for Colleen Hoover's new book, Woman Down. It was a massive box, but it just had like a few items in it. The first thing is of course the book. I'm gonna go into this blind. It is a new thriller book, and I loved Verity, which is her other thriller, so I hope this is just as good. It came with a log cabin candle, a Woman Down eye mask, and a compact mirror that says, do you see fiction or reality? And then I think lastly we have this box from St. Martin's. They were super nice, and for Christmas they let me pick out 4 books from like their most popular releases. It was like a thank you for working with them. I did a couple partnerships with them this year, which was really kind. So the 4 books I picked were You've Reached Sam. I couldn't remember if I had a special edition of this one or not, and I was away when I had to fill this out. I don't think I do. I think I only have it for You've Reached Oliver or You Found Oliver. So I'm excited for this. It's really stunning. Even the end papers are gorgeous, and the bare hardback is absolutely beautiful. I also got Game On, which is a new like sports romance that had these deluxe edges. She's a cheerleader trading in her Oxford life for 1 year in Nashville. He's a star quarterback who doesn't need to do distractions. What could go wrong? Next, I grabbed Wild Reverence by Rebecca Ross. This was a gift for one of my friends, but it didn't come in on time, which is completely fine, but I'll probably just still give this to her. This is the author of Divine Rivals, and it's her new book that came out this year. And lastly, I grabbed Fallen City by Adrienne Young. This book is just really beautiful, so I grabbed this probably also as a gift. I already have my copy of this, but I felt like this would be a perfect gift for another friend. All right, I think that does it. That is all of the books for today's book mail. Make sure you're subscribed because I do these book mail videos like once a month, and I also have a bunch of other bookish related content that I post regularly. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.